What if I told you the most common piece of real estate advice is secretly killing your home sale before it even gets started? I'm talking about the advice you probably heard from your neighbor, perhaps your uncle, or maybe even another real estate agent. Hello everyone, this is Britta Becker, Tampa Bay Real Estate Company, and the host of American Dream TV's Selling Tampa. And what if this bit of so-called wisdom, advice, is the main reason so many homes just sit on the market, get a bad reputation, and end up selling for way less than they should? It's the idea that you should price your home high to leave room for negotiation. It sounds smart, right? It feels like you're actually protecting yourself, but actually it's a trap. It's how things were done in a totally different market. And in today's world, it's the most expensive lie in real estate. It scares off your best buyers and actually lets your home go stale. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why that is, using real market data, and give you the strategy you should be using instead to get the absolute highest price for your home. Now, why does that lie sound so good? Let's be real. The logic behind pricing high seems solid at first. Nobody wants to feel like they've left any money on the table. Your home is your biggest asset, and the fear of underselling is real. So you think, I'll list it for $525,000, even though I'd be happy with $500,000. That gives a buyer room to make a lower offer, to negotiate, and everyone's happy. We negotiate for everything else this way. A car, possibly an item at the flea market. You start high, they start low, and kind of meet somewhere in the middle. The problem is, a house isn't a used car. The buying process using that logic today just doesn't make any sense. In fact, I think it's just a bad idea. It can cost you a fortune. Today's buyers are more informed, some are even more analytical than ever, and definitely more price sensitive. So the old strategy of pricing high to negotiate often leaves you with no one to negotiate with at all. So let's pull back the curtain on what really happens the second you overpriced your home. When you overprice your home, you set off a domino effect of bad news. It's not just one thing, it's a cascade of problems. So here's the first consequence. You're invisible to your perfect buyer. What does that mean? Well, here goes. The first 2 weeks your home is on the market are everything. This is your brand opening. Your home is everywhere. It's on Zillow, it's on Redfin, it's on agent websites, and so on and so on. You name it. But here's the most important part. Buyers don't look at every single home. They use price filters. So put yourself in their shoes. A serious qualified buyer is approved for a mortgage up to $500,000. So what do they set their search filter for? A maximum of $500,000. If you priced your home at $501,000 to leave room, you have just made yourself invisible to your entire target audience. They will never ever see your house. Instead, you're now competing with homes that are actually worth more, they're bigger, they have better features, or they're in a better location. And next to those, your home looks like a bad deal. So the buyers in that price range will ignore you too. Today's buyers are savvy. They have access to tons of data and work with agents who run the comps. They know what the house down the street sold for. When they see a home that is obviously priced higher than it is actually worth or than their neighbor's home, they just skip it and assume the seller is unrealistic. The second consequence is this, the days on market stigma. So your home goes live, week 1, crickets. Week 2, maybe a few insulting offers from investors, but no real buyers. And now a little number on your Zillow listing starts ticking up. Days on market. This is the scarlet letter of real estate. When a buyer sees your home for the first time after it's been listed in, let's say, 30 or 60 or 90 days, their first thought isn't, maybe it's overpriced. Rather, it's more like this. What's wrong with it? They assume there's a secret problem, a bad foundation, a noisy street, a crazy neighbor, perhaps. The excitement a new listing gets is gone. Your home isn't a fresh opportunity, it's the picked over stuff on the clearance rack. Research from Zillow backs us up. Homes that sit on the market sell for way less. One study showed that homes still on the market after 2 months sold for an average of 5% below their original listing price. The longer it sits, the perception of value is gone, and buyers feel like they can make aggressive lowball offers because they know that the seller, you, is getting desperate. Consequence number 3 is this: the price cut death spiral. Gosh, after weeks of silence, you and your agent agree it's time for a price cut. But here's another psychological trap. Many sellers make tiny incremental drops, 5,000 here, 10,000 there. This is one of the worst things you can do. Small cuts don't scream value, they scream desperation. Buyers watching your listing see this and think, aha, they're cracking. I'll just wait for the next price drop. Even if you take the home off the market to reset the clock, you aren't fooling anyone. An agent can easily see the entire property history, including all the price changes. By the time you finally cut the price to where it should have been on day one, you've missed your shot. You've lost the initial wave of excited buyers, and the stigma really has settled in by now. You'll almost always sell your home for less than if you had just priced it right at the start. And consequence number 4, the appraisal gap problem. Okay, let's say you get lucky. In spite of overpricing, a buyer falls in love with your home and agrees to your inflated price. You're under contract, popping the champagne, but hold on, you're not at the finish line quite yet. The buyer's lender needs to do an appraisal. So an independent appraisal will assess your home's value based on recent comparable comps, usually within a 180-day period. The same data you should have used to price the home in the first place. If the appraisal comes in lower than your contract price, you've got a very big problem. You'll end up with something called an appraisal gap. The bank will only lend the buyer money for the appraised value of the home. So if your contract is for $525,000, but the home truly only appraises for $500,000, that's a $25,000 gap. The buyer has to come up with that $25,000 in cash, or guess what? The deal is dead. Most buyers don't or won't or can't do that. So this throws you right back into the negotiations, except now you have zero leverage. The appraisal proved exactly that your price was too high, and you'll always have to lower it anyway to go back to the market after wasting absolutely weeks of valuable time and money. Okay, I know this goes against everything you've been told, but if this is making sense and you want more straight up data-driven advice, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. My goal is to give you the truth right up front, even when it's not really what you want to hear, so you can get ultimately the best possible result. So here's the solution, the smart pricing strategy. So if pricing high is a lie, what's the truth? How do you actually get the most money for your home? The answer is a strategy built on data, momentum, and good old-fashioned competition. Price it to get buzz from day one. That's the best number one solution. The best way to sell your home fast and for the most money is to list it at its true market value, or even just a hair below it right from the start. This isn't about underselling at all, it's about overexposing. This strategy starts with a professional comparative market analysis, also known as a CMA, which analyzes recent similar home sales to find a realistic price. When you price your home correctly, you show up in every relevant buyer's search. Instead of looking overpriced, your home looks like a fantastic, fairly valued property. This is how you get a flood of showings in the first 2 weeks. That high traffic creates a sense of real urgency and guess what? Social proof. Buyers see other cars in the driveway. Their agents tell them the home is getting a lot of buzz. This is how you create a competitive environment. There's another solution as well. By pricing the home correctly at the start, you can actually start and spark a bidding war. Pricing your home at or just under the current market value can feel a little bit scary, of course, but it is the single best way to get multiple offers. When more than one buyer wants your home, the whole game changes. You are no longer on defense. You are actually in complete control. A bidding war naturally drives the price up, and buyers get caught up in that fear of losing out and will often push their offers above the asking price just to win. This is the secret. The market will tell you the true top value for your home, but only if you invite enough people to the party. A high price keeps people away. A strategic price brings everyone in, and their competition will bid the price up to and often past what you might have optimistically listed it for in the first place. You end up with a higher sale price and better terms. And solution number 3, you should negotiate on terms, not just the price. That desire for room to negotiate is absolutely valid, but you don't have to build it into the sticker price. A great offer is about more than just the final number. If you want flexibility, build it into other parts of the deal. Maybe you need a specific closing date. That's a negotiation point. Maybe you're willing to offer a credit for old carpets or include certain appliances. These are all valuable things you can leverage in a negotiation without scaring those buyers away. Right at the start, a great agent helps you use these levers to build a deal that works for you, protecting your bottom line while still attracting a strong offer. The idea of pricing high for negotiation room is an outdated and dangerous myth. Buyers are smarter and more informed than ever before. Your first showing doesn't happen at the front door. It happens on a screen when a buyer sets their price filter. So don't let your home get filtered out of existence. The real way to get top dollar is to price your home based on hard data. Create a wave of interest from the very beginning and let buyer competition do the work for you, driving that price up. It takes guts to trust the data over old advice, but it's a strategy that actually works. If you're curious about the real market value of your home, not an inflated guess, click the link in the description. I offer free, no strings attached, data-driven home value expertise and reports that will give you all the clarity that you need. And now, I have a question for you. Have you seen overpriced homes sitting for weeks in your neighborhood? What happens to them? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to know what you're seeing out there. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And bye for now.